The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Okay, now everyone, welcome to the weekly webinar. Welcome to the weekly webinar. This is Neil Grain again with you, just like every Wednesday at the same time doing these webinars. This time I'm going to talk about the event. As you probably know, every week we're talking about the events that are taking place at the same week. This time we're going to talk about the huge event that is going to take place on Friday. We're going to talk about the NFP, the non-farm payroll. Just want to do a technical check before we begin to see that you can see the screen and hear my voice. I would like to welcome you guys on GoToWebinar and welcome you guys joining us from Facebook Live. By the way, you have a chat window, so if you have any questions during the webinar, I'm going to leave some time for a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. If you have any questions during the webinar, right, you're more than welcome to write me down on comments on Facebook and on the GoToWebinar. Just write me down on the chat window and I'll do my best to answer you. I would like to thank you. I received around 400, 500 emails this week, all right, from all our customers. Thank you back for trading with us. You guys send me emails about last week webinar talking about the technical analysis. Okay, just for you to know, you can use the technical analysis at any time, anywhere, without any guarding. Even if you don't have a big event. Okay, so let's start. All right, so as you probably know, this is our homepage at iTrader.com. Okay, just for you to know, you guys on Facebook, if you want to join us to the webinar in the future, okay, all you have to do is pretty easy. Just go here to news webinar, or you can scroll down here and click on join to webinar, save me a seat. All you have to do is put in your first name, last name, and email address so you can register so we can contact you back. All right. Okay, I just want to do a technical check. Everybody can see the screen and hear my voice. You guys can go to webinar, just write me down on a chat window something that I see that you can hear my voice and see the screen, and we're going to start talking about the NFP. Let's see that we're good. Anyone has any technical problem, cannot see the screen, cannot hear my voice clear? Okay, I want everything to be clear. I'm going to repeat everything at least twice for you to have all the necessary information for this coming Friday. So, everybody sees the screen, we're good? Alrighty then. Okay, if you have any questions, more than welcome. Just write me during the webinar. Okay, let's start. Okay, trading the NFP. The non-farm payroll, this is stands for the NFP, the non-farm payroll will be published on Friday, okay, at exactly 12:30 GMT. Okay, I would like you to see what time it is at your time, okay, 12:30. We put it on GMT time since we have customers from all over Europe, UK, Germany, Sweden, and so on. So, okay, just make sure wherever you're from that you can see that it's on 12:30 GMT time. Now, the NFP is considered the biggest monthly event, all right? The job report, if you traded before in NFP, you know that there's a lot of effect of the American job report on the market. The job report reflects the conditions of the employment situation in the United States, okay? It's a big deal, okay? We know how many people are employed, how much money they make, how many new payrolls we have from the last webinar. The webinar, so the NFP. Now, the NFP, you have to understand that the NFP takes place every first Friday of the month, okay? This coming Friday will be the first Friday of July. This is why we have the NFP or the job report on this coming Friday. Every first Friday of the month, we have the NFP. This is a great opportunity. I think this is it's the second biggest event in the US market, and it's the biggest event that affects on the Fed, okay, the Fed members, whether they decide to raise interest rate or not. So very important. The market reaction is expected to be huge. Now, three main numbers are published, okay? Number of new jobs created by the previous month, unemployment rate, and average hourly earnings, Okay, traders need to take into consideration, all three numbers. So just write it down. There are three numbers, okay? There are two ways, by the way, to trade the NFP. We can do it as amateurs, which means we're looking only at the NFP number, okay, and trade if the number is higher or not, but I want to make you professional. I want you guys to understand, okay, to look at the market from a different point of view and understand whether it's not only the NFP number, but I want you to look at the other numbers to understand the whole picture, okay? If I'll go to investing.com or Forex Factory or whatever, you can see on Forex Factory, you see this is July 7th, this coming Friday, 12:30, this is set to GMT time. You can set the clock by your time, okay? Canada, United States. You see three numbers, NFP, non-farm payroll, non-farm employment change. You have the unemployment rate, and we have the average hourly earnings. All right? Good. Now, most of the people looking at the NFP, I want you to understand, okay, the relations between these numbers. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about now, and try to see where the market is going. And we might even look at the last NFP, and I want to show you the reaction of the market to these numbers, so it will be much clearer for you. Okay, so these are the three numbers. Non-farm payroll, average hourly earnings, unemployment rate. I'm on Forex Factory on Friday, 12:30 GMT. Good. Back to the PowerPoint. All right. So the importance of the average hourly earnings number has gained momentum. Okay. Let me explain why. This number reflects wage growth, which is important when the economy is close to full employment. Unemployment in the United States is low and expected to stay at 4.3%. Now, 4.3% unemployment is considered almost full employment, right? Think about it, that more than 95% out of the Americans that can work are working, right? Which means that it's almost full employment. So we have 4.3, I think it's the lowest that I ever remember, okay? It was 5%, 4.8, 40.7, 4.6, right now it's 4.3. Unemployment is going down. Donald Trump is doing something good, okay, I guess. 4.3% is the lowest number, okay, that I remember in this market. Now, the importance of the average hourly earnings gained, think about it. Unemployment goes down, which means more people are employed, and we have full employment. So we want to know how much money they're making, right? Very important, because if we have full employment, whether it's 5% unemployment or 4.5 or 4.3, okay, people are okay. So unemployment is low, but still we would like to see that people are making money in this market, okay, that people are working and getting good salaries. So we want to see the average hourly earning raising up, okay? So this is why the importance of the average hourly earnings number has gained momentum, and this number reflects wage growth, which is important when the economy is close to full employment as it is now. Now, the number of the new jobs, now we have numbers to beat, okay? Of course, numbers that are better than these numbers are good, and if they're worse, then it's bad. The number of new jobs is expected to be 175,000. Wage growth is expected to be 0.3% more than last month, okay? We're talking about from last NFP to this NFP. We expect the the average hourly earnings, okay, the wage growth, to grow by 0.3%. Wage growth has been the tiebreaker in many of the last NFPs, so pay attention to this, okay? Because a lot of times you see that the NFP number is pretty close to the forecast, and we have full employment, 4.4, 4.3, 4. Maybe 2% unemployment. We want to take a look at the average hourly earning and see if it's higher than 0.3 or lower than that. Now, the dollar movement could be determined by the same number on the next report. Okay, how do you see the numbers? Let's do it again. Show you on Forex Factory here. Average hourly earnings, you see, last time it was 0.2. Right now, on this coming Friday, we expect a raise of the average hourly earnings by 0.3%, as you can see here. NFP, we expect 175,000 new payrolls, and unemployment rate is expected to stay the same at 4.3%. You see these numbers? The actual numbers, you see, are going to be published here exactly on Friday, 12:30 GMT time, which is 8:30 in the morning in New York. and the American market is going to react immediately. By the way, 1 hour after the NFP is published, the US market is open. So if you want to trade, you can trade in waves. We can trade on, let's say, currencies, metal commodities such as silver, gold, and so on. And then 1 hour later, you can trade in the stock market as well. So you can, diversify your portfolio. I always recommend not to put all the eggs in one basket, but to diversify the portfolio and split the risk. Okay, so if one asset goes against you, you always have the other asset to protect. All right, just for you to consider. Good. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. So, a good NFP on Friday could confirm more rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning of the year, and we talked about it on past webinars, the Fed, Janet Yellen, which is the head of the Fed, she talked about it and she said that we expect 3 interest rate hikes in 2017. Now, we had 2 already, okay? It's the first time that we had 2 interest rate hikes in 11 years. This is a big deal, guys. I want you to understand that economically, okay, right now, if you look at all the indices, the stock market is at the highest point ever. When we talk economically, the world and the biggest economy in the world, which is the United States of America, is in the best situation that it's ever been. Okay, this is why the Fed can raise interest rates. Okay, usually when interest rate goes up, U.S. bank stocks are getting up because higher interest rate is better for the banks. They get more for their loans, right? The currency, the local currency, which in this case is the U.S. dollar, is getting stronger. Gold is getting weaker, opposite correlation. We talked about it on last webinars. And of course, the U.S. stock market should get a bit weaker because think about it. If I have $100,000 and I want to know where to invest, if interest rate goes up, I can put the money in the bank and get more rate, right, more interest rate with non-risk. So I'll sell my stocks and put the money in the bank. On the other hand, if interest rate goes down, currency is getting weaker, people get the money off the bank and go and buy stocks, and then stock market is getting stronger. Okay, just for you to understand the logic behind it. Now, a good NFP on Friday could confirm more rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. Okay, they made 2 already. Okay, we had interest rate since 2009 after the big crisis was on 0.25% for years until December 16th of 2015. It was the first time that interest rate went up from 0.25 to 0.5%. 1 year after, on December 2016, we had another hike. Interest rate went up from 0.5% to 0.75, and it stays the same until 2017. 2017, we had 2 hikes. First to 1%, second to 1.25%, which this is the interest rate right now. We're expecting a third one. Now the Fed, okay, the Central Bank of America of the United States is looking very closely at this Friday, these NFP numbers to know whether interest rate will go up this month or maybe in the future. So a good NFP on Friday could confirm more rate hikes on the Federal Reserve. The Fed said it will hike rates if the job report is solid. They said it already. Janet Yellen, the head of the Fed, she said it. Pay attention. No news is good news, meaning any number around expectations could be good enough for the Fed. Okay? Usually, if the forecast, if the actual number is close, okay, very close, or exactly what we expected, means no news. No news is good news. Okay? Full employment 4.3%, and so on. Okay? When we talk about if it's going to be around 175,000 new payrolls, okay, non-farm payrolls as expected. If we're going to see something around 0.3% or a bit higher of the average hourly earnings, okay, then no news is good news. Now the next rate decision will be this month. The next rate decision will take place on July 26th. Okay, so pay attention. We have the NFP this coming Friday on July 7th, and we have the interest rate decision on July 26th. Okay, very important. Might affect it. Okay, strongly affect on the market. Let's go on. Recent market movers. Okay, just for you to understand, let's take a brief for what's going on in the market right now. The US dollar is on a in the short-term uptrend. Okay, euro versus dollar is dropping because the dollar is getting stronger, and dollar versus Japanese yen is rising. Here, the dollar is the secondary currency. This is why when the US dollar is getting stronger, the relations between the euro and the dollar is going down, and here is the main currency, it's going up. Okay, let me show you. Let's open the MetaTrader. And let's take euro versus the dollar on a daily chart. As you can see in the past, each candle represents one day. You see the last 4 candles are red. Euro versus dollar is going down, which means the dollar is getting stronger. If the dollar is the major currency, we're going to see a few days, you see in the past few days that the dollar is getting stronger. Okay, versus the pound, we're going to see it's going down because the dollar is getting stronger, is the secondary currency as well here. All right? So this is the trend right now in the market. The dollar is getting stronger when we're heading into this coming Friday to the NFP. All right? More news, more things that are taking place in the market. US banks are in a strong uptrend. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, interest rate is going up. Okay, twice this year is better for the banks. They make more money. Gold is trading low on higher interest rate expectations. Okay, of course, we said when US dollar is getting stronger, gold is kind of parking lot for all currencies, especially the US dollar. When we don't know what currency to buy, where to invest, people put their money in gold. So we see the opposite correlation between gold and the US dollar. Now the Nasdaq, okay, this is the index that represents the 100 companies, technology companies with the highest value in the United States. The Nasdaq is under huge downside pressure right now on higher interest rate expectations, okay? Just to show you what's going on. Okay, so we talked about US market is open, so it's good. Let me show you. You see, let's Citibank daily going up. You see, interest rate is going up, banks are making more money. They make more money out of their loans, okay? We talked about it. Let's see, I don't know, JP Morgan. Let's take a look at the stock, getting stronger. Goldman Sachs, same correlation, getting stronger in the past few days, okay? If we look at the Nasdaq, okay, in general, it gets a bit weaker right now, even though it's very high, but still S&P 500, Nasdaq, and so on, a bit weaker, okay, because of the expectations, because of the hikes of the interest rate, people put the money in the bank and sell some stocks. And looking at gold is trading pretty low, XAU versus US dollar. This is silver, same thing, but let me show you gold. Getting weaker when the US dollar is getting stronger, opposite correlation. All right? So this is what's going on in the market right now. And of course, good luck. Let me show you what happened on last. You know what? This is interesting. Let's see what happened last time when we had a NFP. Okay, last NFP took place on June, right? Every first Friday of the month. So let's look for June 2nd, right? Let's see if we get it, and let me show you the reaction of the market. Let's talk about it. June 2nd, there we go. June 2nd, we had, you see, average hourly earnings, NFP, unemployment rate. Unemployment rate was expected to be 4.40%. It was a bit better, 4.3. Was better by, you see, it was lower. Unemployment goes down, it's good. It's marked in green, as you can see. It was lower by 0.1%, which means full employment, 4.4, 4.3, same thing. Average hourly earnings was expected to go up by 0.2. It went up by 0.2 as expected, but the NFP itself, we expected 181,000 new jobs, and the actual number was only 138K, okay, new payrolls in the private and the government section. So what do you think happened to the US dollar, guys? Just write on the chat window. Or what do you think happened to the US dollar, for example? Right. The US dollar got weaker. You're perfectly right. The gold got stronger, and stocks got stronger as well with the weaker with the US dollar. Let me show you. So let's open the MetaTrader again just to show you what happened last time. This is the gold, okay? The gold got stronger because when the US dollar is getting weaker, the gold gets stronger. Let's go to June. This is daily. June 2nd. Here, from here, you see gold got stronger. The day is after the NFP. The US dollar, you can see, let's go to 1 hour. Let me show you something. An hourly chart. And let's look for, I don't have it all the way to June. No, I do have it. June. 2017. Let me show you. June 2017 should be here. This is February 2017, March, April, May. And look at the reaction. The US dollar got really, really weaker because of the bad NFP. There it is. June 2nd, you see on a 1 hour chart. Let's zoom in. You see, this is the reaction for the NFP. You know you can make money on a long position or short position. If you go sell, you make money if the dollar in this case is getting weaker. If you go buy, if it's getting stronger. See, 100 pips, around 100 pips in like 2 hours and so on. So this is the NFP, okay? I don't think it's that hard. You have to read all these three numbers, understand where the market is going, understand the relation between the assets, and that's about it. Okay, this coming Friday, 12:30. By the way, next time I would like to just go from here. You can go to join our webinar, save me a seat, and join us every Wednesday. I'm going to be here at the same time. Okay, these webinars for you guys. It's a free service. Just put in your first name, last name, and email so we can contact you back. All right. If you don't have an account yet, just click on Start Trading, open an account with us. We're going to assign you a personal account manager that's going to give you all the information. You're more than welcome if you have any questions. By the way, if you have any questions, ask me right now, all right? Just write down on the chat window. I'll try to answer all your questions. And of course, you can email me during the week. Hopefully, all right, you're welcome, guys. Hopefully, I see some familiar names here, so people are, okay. I'm happy you took some good trades. So just write me down. This coming Friday, I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. As we said, 12:30 GMT time, PM. Just make sure you know what time it is at your time. Look, go to investing.com Forex Factory. I don't care where. Look at the details, and you can trade this event and make some money on your portfolio if you know where the market is going. All right, guys. So good luck, and I'm going to be here next Wednesday talking about the next topic. Thank you very much for participating, and have a great one. All right, bye-bye.